warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Hello, we are from Group 3 and we are going to present our topic which is testing in language class and ELC. So, without further ado, let's do it.
Okay, the first one is I will explain about testing in language classes. The definition: testing is process to measure a student's knowledge and skills. In language learning, testing is usually done through oral, written, or performance. For example, is listening, speaking, reading, and writing abilities. So testing is a formal way to evaluate how well students achieve the learning objectives. And next, we'll explain about the purposes of testing in language classes. So many about the purposes, yeah. Number one is to measure students' ability, and second to give feedback for teachers and students, and the third to determine grades or scores, and the fourth to motivate students to learn, and the last to identify students' strengths and weaknesses.
Type of testing in language classes.
1. For perspection, assessment test of tentang siswa memilih jawaban benar dari beberapa opsi atau meningkatkan level siswa. Yang kedua, diagnosis, identify learning strength and weakness for remedial planning. Itu mengidentifikasi kekuatan dan kelemahan siswa untuk rencana remedial. Yang ketiga, achievement and progress, mengukur sejauh mana siswa telah mencapai tujuan pembelajaran. Yang keempat, Profess and General Test, mengukur kemampuan bahasa secara menyeluruh. Yang kelima, Aptitude. Aptitude Test mengukur bakat atau kemampuan bawaan secara belajar bahasa Inggris. Number 2, Timing, formative ongoing during interaction for feedback. Summative and the end of unit works to evaluation outcomes. Number 3, informal classes based day-to-day checks, quiz, and observation. Formal or standardized high-stakes external design. 4. Scoring average, non-average, compare student on each order. Compare student to each order, criterion reference, compare student to fixed criteria. Next. C.
Method techniques of testing in language classes.
Yang pertama, multiple choice question. Siswa memilih jawab benar dari beberapa opsi seperti pilihan ganda. Number 2, short and swipe fill the blank clause test. Siswa mengisi kata frasa yang hilang dalam kalimat and paragraph. Yang ketiga, true false item. Siswa menandai pernyataan sebagai benar atau salah.
Number 4, matching text.
Matching text, siswa mencocokkan kata frasa dengan definisi atau contoh. Yang kelima, essay, open-ended responses. Siswa menulis jawaban panjang atau essay. Yang ke-6, oral interview. Siswa dinilai kemampuan bicara dan berinteraksi. Number 7, perform authentic text. Siswa melakukan aktiviti bahasa yang menyerupai dunia nyata. Yang ke-8, portfolio assessment, kumpulan karya siswa selama periode tertentu. Yang ke-8, portfolio assessment, kumpulan karya siswa selama periode tertentu. Yang ke-9, self and peer assessment, siswa menilai diri sendiri atau teman dengan panduan rutin. Computer adaptive testing. Number 10, tes berbasis komputer yang menyesuaikan tingkat kesulitan item secara real time. Yang ke-11, observation, guru mengamati penggunaan bahasa siswa saat diskusi atau aktivitas. Yang 12, integrate text, menggabungkan dua kata atau lebih keterampilan dalam satu tugas. Yang ke-13 dan terakhir, advanced scoring, advanced writing evaluation, software memberi skor otomatis pada writing dan speaking.
We move to the design step. We have 9 step design. The first step is define the purpose and use of the test, and what to do: placement, diagnostic, formative, summative, and proficiency. And what what the check method is, there is a clear document explaining why the task is created and for whom. And the first decide what the task is for. Is it to place students in the level or for a final grade? And the second step is determine what is being measured and what to do. Example like speaking, listening, grammar, and vocabulary. There is a blueprint or specification list how many items per competency. The third step, select task types and formats. Example, multiple choice, essay, presentation, or role play. Check if the task align with the purpose. Run a small trial if needed. Next. Number 4, create items and scoring rubrics. Write clear items rubrics for speaking or writing tasks. And will you use multiple choice essay or role play? Choose the one that best fits the purpose. And the fifth step, pilot testing. Test on a few students first. Record time and responses. Item analysis, which items are too easy or difficult. See if instructions are clear. Pilot testing is test in a small group of students first. And statistical analysis is check the data from the pilot, which items were too easy or too difficult. The next step is statistical analysis, is what to do, difficulty, discrimination, reliability, or interdata. Poor items are revised or removed. Reliability must be sufficiently high. Next. Number 7, determine standards like upper, intermediate, pass, or level. Use a clear method. Panel documentation, sensitivity to score change is not. Determine cut score if needed. Set the minimum score to pass. Ensure the test instructions are clear. And the next is implementation and training of correctors or assessors. Clear admin instructions. Correctors or teachers are given a guide or example. Now, the last step is reporting and impact evaluation. Provide result and interpretation, and then feedback. See how the test after learning. And give the clear test result and feedback to the students. And check whether the test helps or actually hinders the learning process. Okay.
So, following the theories about testing language classroom, the difference between language curriculum evaluation is testing about assessing the performance of individual student, or curriculum evaluation is about assessing the effectiveness of overall teaching program. So, what is curriculum evaluation? Curriculum evaluation is the process systematically gathering information to determine how effectively language programs are achieving their goals and meeting student needs. The process focuses not only on student assessment, but also encompasses the teaching and learning system. Next. So why need to evaluate the language curriculum? Because to check the effectiveness. Are students achieving their intended learning outcomes? The second, to improve the program. Identify strength and weakness for future revision. Third, to ensure relevance. Make sure the curriculum match student needs, real-world language use, and national education standard. And the last, to provide accountability. Show stakeholders, teacher, parent, institution, government that program is working. Next. what need to evaluate a language curriculum? First, goals and objectives. Are they realistic and achievable? Content and materialities. Are textbook, text, research appropriate? And the third, teaching method. Do instructional strategies fit student learning style? And the fourth, assessment system. Are tests valid, reliable, and aligned with goals? And the five, learning outcomes. Do students actually improve in listening, speaking, reading, and writing? And last, context and environment. Class size, research, teacher training, school facility, like that.
And then next, there is an independent curriculum evaluation framework, and then there are 6 of the type. One is purpose of the evaluation, second is evaluation aspect, and then the third is evaluation techniques, and then the fourth is simple evaluation, and the next principle of Merdeka curriculum evaluation, and then student and teacher evaluation. And then for the purpose of the evaluation is for help the teachers design more effective and differentiated learning strategies, and then improve the overall quality of learning continuously. And then for the evaluation aspect is knowledge competition, what students know, and then skills competition, and then the attitudes of the students. And then the third is evaluation techniques is observation, and then such as written or oral test in a school. And then fourth is simple evaluation is conducted naturally or not overly focused for quality feedback. And then the fifth is principle of Merdeka curriculum evaluation is formative and summative, and then flexible contextual, and then growth oriented. And then next is student and teacher evaluation is helps understand student learning progress, strengths, and challenges, guides appropriate interventions. Next. And then is practical steps in the independent curriculum. There are just 2 practical steps. The first one is understand the core principle, what to do, learn the main values of curriculum Merdeka, such as student-centered learning, flexibility in the teaching, project-based learning. And then the second is create a flexible lesson plan, what to do, make lesson plans that are simple, flexible, and focus on essential competencies.
Okay, now we're talking about ELC. What is ELC? ELC is evaluating language curricula. It's a systematic process of assessing the extent to which a language curriculum successfully achieves its learning objective in terms of its content, implementation, and outcomes. Its main goal is to ensure that the curriculum remains relevant, effective, and aligned with the needs of language learners. So, jadi ELC ini adalah mengecek apakah pelajaran bahasa yang diajarkan itu sudah bagus. Seperti contohnya adalah apakah buku pelajaran ini cocok untuk murid atau gurunya mengajarkan dengan pas. Apakah muridnya jadi bisa dengan materi yang diajarkan seperti itu. Okay, next. Okay, we have instrument and sample questions. This section discusses the tools or techniques used to collect data during the evaluation process. These instruments may include questionnaires, interviews, classroom observations, document analysis, and achievement tests. Through these instruments, evaluators can obtain valid quantitative and qualitative data to assess the effectiveness of curriculum implementation comprehensively from various perspectives, making the evaluation results more holistic and useful as a basis for decision making in improving curriculum quality. Jadi bagian instrumen ini, oh ya, sebenarnya ini contohnya adalah some common examples of question used in LCE include the materials in the curriculum help me communicate communicate with life context. Ini adalah kuesioner untuk murid. Lalu to the objectives of this curriculum match your student abilities. Ini adalah interview untuk guru dan our students actively using the target language during learning activities, yaitu classroom observation. Okay, next. Okay, last we have analysis and indicators. This section explains how data from evaluation instruments are analyzed and how curriculum success is measured. Data analysis can be quantitative for numerical data, yaitu seperti tadi, yaitu test score atau questionnaire, include calculating averages and percentages, termasuk mengkalkulasi rata-rata dan persen. Lalu ada kualitatif for non-numerical data, yaitu interview dan observations, itu seperti coding and identifying key terms. Lalu indicators act as benchmarks such as seperti achievement of learning objective, relevance of materials, student participation, appropriateness of methods, and fairness of assessment. It will should fall below targets. Seperti contohnya adalah 60% dari standar 70% materials of method may need revision. Systematic analysis and clear indicators help evaluators give practical recommendation to improve the curriculum. Jadi indikatornya bilang 70% murid harus dapat 70 ke atas di tes akhir. Lalu ternyata di 60% dapat cuma hanya dapat 60%. Berarti kurikulumnya perlu dicek lagi. Seperti itu. Thank you.
Okay.
Example of collaboration evaluating language in the curriculum. First, language teacher and researchers collaborate to review the syllabus materials and assessment to ensure they are more relevant and elegant.
Okay.
Example of collaboration evaluating language in the curriculum. First, language teacher and researchers collaborate to review the syllabus materials and assessment to ensure they are more relevant and aligned. Second, a multi-stakeholder team, teachers, principal, parents, students, evaluate the curriculum suitability to learning needs. Third, cross-subject collaboration. Language and non-language teacher integrate academic language into content learning. Fourth, peer review of assessment by external experts ensures validity and cultural equity. Is it best practice? First, define clear evaluation objective. Second, ensure alignment between objective materials and assessment. Third, involve all stakeholders. Fourth, train teachers in assessment literacy. Fifth, use pilot data for curriculum revisions.
It's wrap.
Referensi atau